Usually, when we talk about a business model, people immediately think of dry financial plans or growth charts.
Spot on. It's like it's a physical machine. If a gear is broken, just take it out and replace it.
But today, on my screen, I have a repository of internal strategic documents from an organization called Team 10 Plus. And you know, right from the first page, they used a phrase that really made me pause. It's a psychological meat grinder. Well, that's a really haunting image.
But honestly, it reflects the essence of the problem quite accurately. Because this machine doesn't crush the physical body. It really drains you mentally, doesn't it? Exactly. It slowly drains their confidence and completely destroys the social relationships of anyone caught in it.
I totally agree with you. So, in today's deep dive, our task isn't to sit around dissecting what products they sell.
Right, that's not the point.
The focus is on how this organization is applying first principles thinking, the very mindset Elon Musk often uses, combined with AI technology to perform a comprehensive overhaul of the network marketing industry.
That's a huge ambition. According to the documents, they are actually targeting 3 macro objectives.
That's right. First is comprehensive automation. Secondly, completely eliminate the psychological pressure on participants. And third is expanding the business globally. These are the toughest problems in this industry. So let's break this down. Why does an industry that's been around for decades need such a radical overhaul? What exactly about the old foundation has actually rotted away? To understand that rot, we have to look straight at the most classic pitch in this industry.
This organization calls it an extremely dangerous trap. Didi, what's the sentence?
Is it that thing about finding just 2 to 3 people to achieve financial freedom? Sounds familiar.
At first glance, this message sounds extremely attractive and super easy. These documents provide a deep analysis that this is the root cause of all exhaustion. It contains 2 critical vulnerabilities. Yeah, I noticed the document mentions the first vulnerability is mathematical and mechanical.
Could you explain this part a bit more?
It's basically a mechanical problem that has no solution. Just imagine it like this. For a system with only 2 to 3 people per branch to generate enough profit for financial freedom, that network must be built extremely deep.
It goes down tens or even hundreds of floors, right? Yeah, it's super deep.
An excellent manager in a traditional company can barely handle 10 people directly, at most. That's exactly the blind spot. Physical and time constraints just don't allow anyone to look after or control such deeply accumulated layers.
And what's the consequence? As a result, when people at the very bottom face difficulties and look up to find no one supporting them, they get discouraged and give up.
The breakage at the bottom immediately drags down the earnings of those above.
That means losing money, wasting time, and a total system collapse triggering a devastating domino effect.
Exactly. It's exactly like trying to build a skyscraper, but on a foundation of slushy ice.
The higher you build, the greater the pressure, and collapse isn't just a possibility, it's a certainty.
That's a very accurate comparison. But the second vulnerability is just as dangerous. It lies in the psychological aspect.
Is this psychological loophole defined in the documents as a sugar-coated poison? That's right.
The message, just 2 or 3 people, it sounds way too easy. Inadvertently, it sows laziness and a get-rich-quick mentality into the subconscious of participants right from the start.
It lowers the strict standards of a real business.
Exactly.
It just lulls people into a false sense of security, creating a completely distorted expectation right from the start.
That's right. When someone with such a casual mindset enters the business world, all it takes is a tiny hurdle, a single rejection, or a skeptical look. Their psychological defense mechanism will kick in immediately.
It tempts them to give up instead of finding ways to train and overcome difficulties.
That non-serious attitude leads to the fact that even for those tiny numbers of 2 to 3 people, most people never manage to finish.
Wow. So the old foundation is completely rotten, both mechanically and psychologically. Instead of using cement to patch up that mud floor, documents show that Team 10 Plus decided to
demolish it and rebuild it completely. To decode this paradox, we need to look at the issue through a lens called first principles thinking. Just like how billionaire Elon Musk usually does it, right?
Absolutely, brother. This is the root cause analytical thinking method. So instead of looking at a slow-moving carriage and whipping the horse to go faster, first principles thinking suggests ditching the carriage altogether and building a car.
A change from the very foundation. Yes.
And Timer Plus, they faced a very harsh truth. If it's true that only 2 to 3 people can actually bring about financial freedom, then why have so many who followed that formula over the years failed miserably and left this industry?
That's a very sharp counter question. Promises are easy to make, but the actual failure rate is sky high. And they set an entirely new set of rules. Minimum requirement, 10 direct partners.
That's right. But if we use original thinking to look deep into the structure of this number 10, it actually doesn't create pressure at all, but is a system consisting of 3 extremely solid risk shields. 3 shields, right? Why don't you try dissecting each shield one by one?
The first shield is a risk absorption strategy designed to eliminate the fear of collapse. Let's take a worst-case scenario in business. The dropout rate is 50%. Half the people left. If we follow the old 2-person model and use half the tools, that system is going to be completely dead in the water.
It's all over.
But with 10 people, if 5 leave, the members' system still has 5 people as a solid core for the business to keep running and stay profitable. The risk of being completely absorbed.
A really huge margin of safety.
That's right.
So what is the second shield? Don't tell me they're making these 10 people dig down another 100 levels again.
Not at all. That is the genius of this second shield. Optimizing management space. With this 10 times multiplication formula, the network grows incredibly fast. It could be over 1,000 or even 100,000 people.
Is it that quick? Yeah.
But the secret lies here. A person framed for a crime. They are only allowed to, and only need to, focus on managing the 2 levels directly below them.
Hold on, let me do the math. There are 10 people on the first floor, and if each of them has 10 more people on the second floor, that makes 100. So, one person can manage a maximum of 110 people only.
That's exactly how it is. No one needs to reach all the way down to the 10th or 20th floor for anything.
The workload is broken down. Exactly.
No one is overloaded or burnt out. And because everyone only looks after their own narrow scope, the system will never break due to a lack of cohesion.
That's wise. Limit to scale. What about the third shield? Even if you're managing just 110 people, if the system forces them to buy a large amount of stock every month to maintain their rank, they'll still end up financially exhausted. The third shield is created precisely to shatter that financial pressure.
It lies in the perfect alignment with the policies of the strategic partners they choose. That is the MWR Life platform.
How is it related to the number 10?
Once you hit this number 10, participants not only optimize all their benefits but also earn the highest income. But most importantly, they get the monthly maintenance fee completely waived. Completely waive the maintenance fee.
Wait, if they don't have to worry about stocking inventory or paying fees, then what's the only job left for them?
The document points it out very clearly. Now, all that's left is to pack your bags and head out on a trip.
Going on a trip?
That's right. They use those real-life travel experiences as marketing material in the most natural way. This way of traveling for recruitment is quite interesting.
A 10-person structure is quite solid, and it sounds like a dream too. But the harsh reality is, how can a newbie have enough skills to execute this?
You are right.
Even if they ask 10 people and get a flat refusal, the mental pressure will still break them.
That is exactly the gap where most previous models have failed. And that is also why Team 10 Plus designed a 4-day training journey.
4 days of training. The key point here is, this journey happens before the candidate officially signs the contract. So it's about equipping them with the right mindset and tools before sending them to the battlefield, instead of just making them sign a contract and then cramming theory down their throats.
Team 10 Plus has a rock-solid stance. If you don't grasp the global digital business mindset from the start and pick the right economic model, then no matter how sharp the AI tools you give them, that machine will sooner or later turn into scrap metal. Makes sense. So, The first phase, or what they call day one, is entirely focused on shaping the mindset and selecting the model.
Reading this section, I feel their analysis of the membership economy model is incredibly deep. They give the example of Costco, that massive supermarket chain in the US. As you know, Costco has over 130 million members.
Costco's huge profits come from that very annual membership fee. The behavioral psychology here is that once people have paid for a card, they tend to come back and shop more to feel like they're maximizing their benefits.
A very subtle observation from the document, and they argue that their partner, MRW Life, has upgraded Costco's model to a more perfect version for the digital age. How to upgrade?
The psychological loop and its cash flow work like this. The membership fee you pay isn't lost, it instantly turns into shopping points.
Oh, so the money is still there?
That's right. Users use those points to pay for hotel services and trips. Once the consumption is done, the system often adds tourist points. Stimulated Rabbit continues to plan for the next trip. A completely closed loop, with absolutely no friction.
And the figures in the document are pretty impressive too. Megawatt Life currently has over 700,000 members connected to 2 million hotels, thousands of tours, and more than 2,000 lifestyle brands.
It's massive. But I'm curious, why choose tourism as your core product instead of health supplements or cosmetics?
What have been the hallmarks of the MLM industry all along?
The document points out two basic principles. Firstly, tourism is a digitized service, it has no inventory, so there's no such thing as expiring goods piling up under your bed and becoming a financial burden.
Right, no need to hoard stock.
The second is the macro scale. Global tourism revenue is projected to reach $1.07 trillion by 2026. Wow, that's a huge number. The US alone accounts for $250 billion and is projected to hit $1.39 trillion by 2030.
Travel also has what you call natural viral DNA. Everyone loves to post pictures when they're watching the sunset in places like Bali or Santorini. Nobody really posts about taking effervescent vitamin tablets online, do they?
Absolutely, the travel experience itself is already a marketing push. The takeaway from day one is that choosing this breakthrough model, combined with our strategic partner NWA Life, is a very practical opportunity.
The interesting thing here is that this product choice is a perfect strategic piece.
And everyone loves to travel.
But hey, this monetary loop sounds a lot like a self-sustaining, closed-loop ecosystem. In reality, people are still extremely afraid to invite others to join that ecosystem.
The fear of rejection, right? Right, if you go around promoting it and your friends start avoiding you, then that perfect loop becomes meaningless.
How do they handle this mental barrier on day 2?
This is the moment they bring out their so-called tech shield. But I need to clarify, Team 10 Plus doesn't force anyone to copy and act like robots.
Oh, it's not like some mindless spam messages, is it?
Yes, they just want the candidate to know that a smart marketing system is already in place as a weapon. Anyone else who wants to get creative with custom orders is still most welcome.
So, what are the components of this marketing system?
To prevent that damage, this organization uses a smart landing page system. It's not some lifeless website, you know.
Then what is it?
It is a true psychometric machine. It tracks every micro-behavior of potential customers accurately. Like, who opened the link, when, and how many times.
Even which video to watch and how much of it to watch, right?
That's right. Did you click the call to action button? It alerts whenever you click it. And what surprised me the most is that it automatically color codes the customers for scoring.
Red, green, yellow, purple, black.
An extremely intuitive visualization.
Instead of fumbling to guess what customers want, members just need to open the dashboard. Seeing the red color, I know this customer is really eager and needs immediate engagement.
What if it looks black?
When you see the color black, just stay quiet and let the system sow the seeds gradually. It's exactly like triaging patients in a hospital. That's a very sharp comparison.
Plus, any customer interaction, whether they pause to watch a video or click a button, automatically captures their data and pushes it straight into the CIM management software.
So, it means completely getting rid of the part where customers have to struggle with long, boring registration forms, right?
Exactly. Customers these days are so lazy. The moment they see the form, they run away. So, it must be fully
But
automated.
the core of relieving psychological pressure for those sharing lies in this intelligent, one-touch 360-degree window solution.
Just explain this part a bit more clearly.
Don't know what professional text to send next.
Exactly, I'm afraid I'll say something wrong and lose the client.
This 360 window is like an extra brain. It comes preloaded with an interactive content library curated by experts, fully meeting all 7 rigorous steps in the marketing process. Everything is personalized for each customer's status.
So convenient.
When the system indicates a customer is at step 3, for example, the agent just needs to select the available communication channel right in that window, like Jhalo, WhatsApp, Telegram, or email, and the perfect script will pop up.
All you have to do is copy, paste, and send it.
That's absolutely brilliant. It's like wearing an invisible earpiece, with an expert negotiator whispering every single word into your ear.
Care for the right person, at the right time, for the right needs. The conversion rate will skyrocket, while the participants remain safely tucked behind a solid tech shield, never having to face direct rejection again. So liberating. But if we just restrict this excellent solution to our mother tongue, then global business expansion is nothing but an empty slogan.
The issue of national borders arises. All this time, wanting to enter the international market meant grinding away at foreign languages and exhaustingly researching cultures. Without language, all marketing efforts are just a waste. That leads straight to day 3, addressing the challenge of globalization. That's right. The biggest barrier to international business for decades has always been language. The bias that you need to be fluent in a foreign language to work in international markets has stifled so much potential. On day 3, the 10+ team brought in AI to break through this barrier by integrating Google Meet. The thing is, Google Meet can now translate two-way audio, ma'am.
It doesn't just display subtitles on the screen, it translates the voice directly.
This is where things get really interesting. The fact that AI can translate two-way speech while retaining the speaker's tone and emotions is truly a breakthrough.
That's right. It scans the context and intonation to accurately convey excitement or seriousness. It's not just a word-for-word translation.
Awesome. It's exactly like an international power adapter, automatically adjusting to fit the culture of any country.
I also saw they integrated Gboard AI right into the phone keyboard. Chat on WhatsApp with foreign clients and it auto-translates both ways in hundreds of languages, no need to open a translation app. All feelings of insecurity due to the language barrier are completely stripped away, even for members who aren't tech-savvy at all.
Spot on. You can still do it even without knowing a word of a foreign language. And when combined with smart landing pages, the documentation clearly states that the system provides ready-made websites accurately translated into over 30 languages. So, I can totally send a Spanish link to a client based in Madrid. And all their actions on that page will flow directly into my CIM 360 system, so I can manage them in Vietnamese. A literal leveling of the playing field.
The older generations had to learn so many complex foreign languages. Nowadays, even those who aren't tech-savvy and don't know a single word of a foreign language can easily manage the international market.
Anyone who understands and applies these solutions is the pioneer shaping the future.
Sure thing. Honestly, this amount of digital weaponry is just overwhelming.
So, after stuffing candidates with economic thinking, giving them the CIM shield, and breaking down language barriers with AI on day 3, phase 4, day 4 must be a grand musical stage with inspiring speeches to reach the peak of emotions and close the deal in a flash.
Why do you think so?
In this industry, emotional manipulation is such a common trick, isn't it?
Surprisingly, that's not the case at all. Phase 4 goes completely against all psychological manipulation tactics.
Oh, so no flashy slides, no upbeat music then?
There's absolutely no peer pressure.
So what did they show the candidates on day 4?
Absolute transparency, they will open it directly inside the real accounts of both platforms. The first site is nlife.com and the second one is traveladvantage.com. It's a genuine account for sure. That's right. Candidates get to see firsthand how cash flow operates within this ecosystem. How are reward points transferred?
It's about showing them the core layers of the truth, so they can figure out how to optimize their income right from the start, instead of blindly following orders from their superiors.
Exactly.
Looking back at these 4 days, honestly, it doesn't feel like a science sales pitch at all.
So what does it look like to you?
It's a transformational journey, turning an ordinary person into a digital business expert, and specifically equipping them with a standardized machine to easily replicate those best practices for their entire team. With the experience of reading thousands of strategy documents, I keep having to ask, where exactly does the trap lie? For that final closing, there must be some sort of forced condition or a bait involved, right?
Once again, they keep taking us from one surprise to another. What is the catch in this deal? There's no trap at all.
There's no trap. They even set up a final filter called the 24-hour rule. The 24-hour rule. Wait, you mean they're refusing to let candidates apply right away, even when they're super excited?
They offered some really sincere advice. After completing the 4-day journey, candidates should disconnect, return to real life, and think thoroughly for 24 hours to avoid any impulsive decisions driven by a sudden rush of excitement.
They are pushing customers away themselves. They absolutely respect human autonomy.
Of course, the document also states clearly that if anyone has thought it through, seen the potential, and is determined to join immediately, the organization will still fully welcome them.
And I bet the moment they create an account, that whole smart marketing system with landing pages and CRM is triggered instantly, so they can get to work without wasting a single second.
Sure, weapon in hand, right away. But before wrapping up the entire journey, they'll don their expert hats and pose 3 core questions as a mirror for candidates to reflect on themselves.
3 questions to determine your final mindset. What exactly is it?
First question, if you could attend these 4 days of training, which day impressed you the most? Or what's the best tech solution?
Yeah, a question to test your concentration.
Second question, do you really want to become a respected member of the 10+ team?
This sentence gets straight to the point. What about the third one? The third sentence is also the heaviest and most important one.
Would you like to join the 10+ team to help change outdated practices in the MLM industry and spare many people from struggle and hardship?
That's terrible. If we connect this whole picture, from using original thinking, breaking down the muddy foundation of the 2-3-person model, using the number 10 as a safety core, using AI as an interpreter, and using CIM as a psychological shield.
What did you realize? Clearly, this organization's goal isn't to round up a noisy and chaotic crowd. Is it safe? Throughout this document, the core message is that they're aiming to build an elite team, a crew fully equipped with top-notch technology, yet operating under a truly ethical and sustainable business philosophy.
You know, after digging through all these strategic documents, a thought's been playing on my mind this whole time.
What are you thinking about?
A perspective the document doesn't explicitly mention, but one I believe is the inevitable philosophical consequence of this whole automation story.
Sounds interesting, why don't you share it?
Just imagine it for a second. When AI, algorithms, and automation take over all the boring, labor-intensive tasks, and even handle rejection on our behalf, what are the human heart and brain left to do?
It definitely wasn't meant for just sitting around, but to focus energy on the one thing that AI can never replicate. Build deep empathy and pure trust between people. Technology scrubs away all friction so that finally, when two people talk, it's with sincerity. When technical skills become too easy, sincerity is the most valuable asset. A truly sharp perspective, human flaws yet authenticity become unique. So before we close this file, there is a thought I want all of us to reflect on. In the near future, when AI makes every economic transaction smooth, perfect, and frictionless, how will we tell the difference between a highly intelligent, sophisticated algorithm that caters to our emotions and a clumsy but genuine connection from a real human being?
A question worth pondering over. That's right, and that will probably reshape the entire concept of value in tomorrow's economy.
Thank you for joining us in this in-depth discussion. Hello and goodbye.